Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I used to think my life was everything I ever wanted. From the outside, it looked almost picture perfect. A peaceful neighborhood, a warm home filled with her laughter, and a marriage that people admired. I believed in us with everything I had. I trusted her more than anyone. But on one ordinary evening, everything I thought was solid collapsed in a way I could never have braced myself for. That day, I stayed later at work than usual, trying to finish a project due first thing Monday morning. She kept texting me now and then, short, light-hearted messages. "Don't work too late," she wrote. "Dinner's ready." I smiled every time my phone buzzed. There was something comforting about knowing she was waiting for me. On the drive home I felt excited. I even had a small surprise planned for her. She loved thoughtful gestures and I loved giving them. But when I pulled into the driveway something felt wrong. The lights inside were low, darker than usual, and shadows stretched strangely across the walls. Then I heard a laugh, a man's laugh, one I had never heard before. My heart dropped into my stomach. I opened the door slowly and called her name, but my voice felt swallowed by the silence. And then I saw them. My wife sitting on our couch with another man. His hand rested casually on her knee, his face too close, both of them whispering and laughing like they belonged together. It was so natural, so intimate that my chest tightened. My first instinct was disbelief. I actually wondered if I was dreaming. But the truth was right in front of me, sharp and undeniable. I couldn't move for a moment. Every memory of her, of us, came crashing down all at once. The surprise I had prepared, the flowers, the dinner, everything seemed ridiculous now. All I felt was a crushing wave of anger, heartbreak, and an emptiness I didn't know a person could hold. When she finally noticed me, her eyes widened, just a flicker of guilt, but enough to tell me everything. She looked like she was scrambling for an excuse, trying to find a sentence that could somehow make it all make sense. But there was nothing she could say. Some wounds can't be explained away. Without even thinking, I walked to the closet, grabbed the nearest suitcase and started throwing my clothes into it. I didn't care what I took. I just needed to get out of that house, away from the scene that was destroying me. Their whispers and quiet laughter kept echoing behind me, tormenting me with every zip of the suitcase. And then she shouted something I will never forget. "You'll never find anyone like me again." Her voice was sharp, angry, almost desperate. But underneath those words was something darker, arrogance, entitlement. A belief that I somehow belonged to her, even after she tore everything apart. That was the moment I knew the woman I loved had never truly valued me. I walked out with nothing but a suitcase, my heart pounding and my life turning to ashes behind me. The streets were silent, the kind of silence that forces you to think about every choice you made. Each step away from that house felt like peeling off a layer of myself, the part that still believed in the illusion she created. I drove without direction, trying to make sense of it all. Suddenly, the signs I had ignored became painfully obvious. The late nights, the guarded phone, the secretive smiles. I wasn't blind because I didn't see. I was blind because I hoped. Because I believed love meant trusting someone even when things felt off. But some betrayals can't be undone. In the following days, I packed up my life, not just my belongings but every memory that now stung like fire. Friends reached out with advice and support, but nothing they said could fill the gap left by the truth I had discovered. I realized the only way forward was to rebuild myself from the ground up, away from the lies and manipulation. It wasn't easy. Every familiar corner, every photo, every reminder of our life together hurt. But in that pain I found something clear. I could no longer let someone else's betrayal determine my worth. I had to claim it back. I had to start again. Months have passed. The ache is still there, sometimes sharp, sometimes faint. But I'm learning how to walk without the weight she put on my shoulders. I understand now what love is supposed to be: trust, respect, honesty. None of which survived that night. Her scream still echoes in my mind sometimes, those venomous words etched deep. But instead of letting them crush me, I turn them into fuel. Every day I remind myself that no betrayal, no matter how devastating, can take away someone's value. I survived that night. And if I could survive that kind of heartbreak, anyone can survive their own storm and come out stronger. It's a lesson I never wanted to learn, but it's one that changed me. In the ruins of what I thought was perfect, I discovered something far more important: clarity, strength, and the understanding that no one has the power to steal your peace unless you let them. I drove away that night with nothing but a suitcase and a shattered heart. But somewhere along the road I felt something I thought I had lost for good: freedom. And that, in the end, is worth more than anything I left behind.